right. Now, let's move on to this story, because former Northwest Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions, that advocate Sello Maema, has emphasized that the 23 dockets, which include information on the Kato Mana killings in KwaZulu-Natal and other provinces, should go before the courts. Maema concluded his evidence-in-chief in the Nkabinde Inquiry, which is looking into suspended South Gauteng Prosecutions boss, Advocate Andrew Chauke's fitness for office. In his testimony, though, he described the controversial Cato Mana police unit as a killing squad, insisting that they were a law unto themselves. Nqobile Madlala has been closely following the proceedings and joins me now in studio for more of those details. It feels as though we've shifted completely, Nqobile, from what was the initial basis of understanding what Andrew Chauke's fitness to hold office is, to include so many other variables here. We've shifted so far from Shamela Batoy's request even somewhat. Where do we actually stand? Maybe if we can start off with a timeline of how we got to where we are right now, especially with regards to Sello Maema's evidence-in-chief.
Well, Advocate Sello Maema is basically the leader of the prosecutors that were chosen by Nqobile through Advocate Chauke. So you'll remember that call that they had where he called Advocate Mlotshwa in KZN to say that these cases needs to be looked into. Now, we understand in Advocate Shamela's testimony that Mlotshwa said he wanted more details and that he didn't have enough prosecutors. Now, she then moved to Advocate Chauke, who already sits in the South Gauteng with over 400 prosecutors that he looks at. So now she then asked him to assist in putting a team of prosecutors that will go to KZN. Now, these team of prosecutors were led by Advocate Sello Maema. So he basically had an interaction with the actual evidence before him, which was given to him by IPID, as well as other officials that were in that meeting, were 50 dockets. But he was only given just 6 to look at first. And when he got to KZN, he then looks at about 23 dockets. And these dockets were dockets that they were sure that there will be enough evidence to show that there was racketeering with regards to the Kato Mana, that there was the killing that was taking place that was outside of line, which is unconstitutional. Sure. Now, all of this is happening in KZN, but he is communicating through the South Gauteng Director of Public Prosecutions, Andrew Chauke. Now, let's look at the timeline itself. In 2008 to about 2009, you have Advocate Shamela Batoy, who's currently sitting as DPCI in KZN. But you also have a director, which is Major General Boysen, who is in the police department. But he's overseeing Kato Mana unit in KZN. And we are told that during that time is when the Kato Mana unit was doing its killings in KZN. But what's happening is they're killing the KwaMaphumulo Taxi Association members. And these members start to worry that there is a hit list which came from the Stanger Taxi Association, which was given to, allegedly, to the Kato Mana unit to basically assassinate those people. Sure. And this is given to the media and to the society as these were the people that killed the general, sure, Superintendent Konko, who was part of the Kato Mana unit, who was killed whilst he was transporting prisoners. So we are slam bam in 2008 and 2009, and this is where all these dockets are coming from.
It's still going to take some time to really clear all of this, and this is possibly what Advocate Thembeka Nqobile was ultimately hoping for, to really relay exactly the proceedings over the last number of years, and not just the short time span that perhaps Shamela Batoy was looking at.
Yes, so remember, Advocate Chauke is basically being accused of taking prosecutorial roles, especially when it comes to the racketeering charge. He's also accused of acting outside of his jurisdiction. He's also being accused of pushing for this racketeering charge, which would be later withdrawn by Advocate Shamela Batoy when she's the NDPP. So when she is now in her position that she just recently finished. Now, if you look at that, they're basically saying that they have brought in an evidence, or rather a witness that can specifically say what were the decisions that were taken. The decisions that were taken by Advocate Maema, and as a result, Advocate Maema was basically highlighting the work that he did on the side or working with Advocate Chauke. But what he's highlighting now, he's saying the 23 dockets have enough evidence. Sure. Let it be taken to court. Let's listen in.
Chairperson, my view is that these matters must go to court. These killings must go to court. Evidence must be presented in an open court. That is why we are in this democracy where we are, so that things must be ventilated in an open court.
And so far remedies are concerned, despite the powers that this panel has, the panel may, in the interest of justice, even consider making certain recommendations regarding this aspect.
And so where does that leave us today? What are we anticipating to ultimately hear today then?
So he's finished his evidence in chief as the first witness for the defense or Chauke's legal team. We are now expecting to see a cross-examination from the side of evidence leaders who are going to be clarifying the details that he has given to the Nkabinde Inquiry. We know for a fact that already they've said that they don't have any questions with regards to the dockets. They take them as is. But also we're understanding that there is a decoupling affidavit that was provided by the team to the Nkabinde Inquiry. This with regards to Advocate Shamila Batoy coming back. So that process in itself is also taking place. So we are expecting to hear more in details in terms of what is the way forward there.
An intricately woven web of dockets and history being brought together all in this one case. Nqobile Madlala, thank you so much for bringing us this story, of course, trying to give us an update on the Nkabinde Inquiry that is going into Andrew Chauke's fitness to hold office there. Man, so many aspects of it still at play.